Today I'm going to give you some explanations on the chapter land, which is the second term syllabus, the first chapter for the second term syllabus. So the chapter name is, as I said, land. Here in this chapter we are going to learn the meaning of land, the characteristic of land, the functions of land, the importance of land, and also the factor affecting the productivity of land. So as we go on in detail, I will be giving some brief explanations in the meaning of land and the meaning that has been given by some economics. To go to the characteristic of land, uh, there are many characteristics, but I'll point out or I'll explain some few points that, of characteristic, and also from the functions, and also from the importance and the productivity of land. So as we begin to explain the meaning of land, we explain in the side of economics, when we speak of land, we generally know that land refers to the surface of earth, which means the surface that we see on the earth is the land. Anything that we see on the surface uh, over the earth, that refers to the in general sense land. But in economics, if we have to explain the meaning of land, we have to go little more deeper than the general in the general way of understanding the meaning of land. In economics, it includes all that which is available freely, or which is available free of cost from nature for as a gift of human being. So the difference here we find here is, when we speak land in a general sense, it says it is just the surface of the earth. But when we talk in the sense of economics, or when we talk the meaning of land in the side of economic, we can know it is just it is a free gift of nature. It is a free cost. It is available in the free cost from nature as a gift of human being. So, uh, as I said, there are many economists who has given the meaning. Here, I'm just going to say one of the economists, that is Professor A. Marshall, who has given the meaning of this land. So here, as he says, land means the material and the forces which nature gives freely for man's aid in land and water, in air and light and heat. Here, Marshall has explained us clearly, the land is a material thing. It is not non-material. It is a material which we can touch and feel. And not only that, it is a free gift of nature for man aid, which means for helping man. So helping man is what? When we talk of helping man, is developing man, developing our society, helping our society to grow, and helping the man to grow. That is what he means to say. So here, with the help of land, many things can happen in the side of growth of society, in the side of growth of human being, in the side of development of the country, of a city, of industry. If we talk of cities, development of industries, factories, all this happen on the surface of the earth. So, as Professor Marshall has explained us, it is just the material things and the forces which is freely given from nature for human aid. Now, anyway, there are some old definitions of land. Old definition, which means which we can say a classical definitions, which has been defined or which has been given by the olden days economists. Here, the old definition, it says it's a free gift, whereas according to the modern definitions, the land has a feature of definiteness in character. but there is no sacrifice. Here, no sacrifice means it is a free gift. Thus, we can conclude that the modern definition of land is almost the same as the old definition. Now let us go to the character. Let us move to the characteristic of land. Land has specific characteristic which distinguish from the other factors of productions. The main characteristics of land are free gift of nature, limited supply of land, difference in fertility, indestructibility of land, immobility, passive factor of productions, effect of law of productions, effect of law of returns, alternative use of land, and land is heterogeneous. So now if we have to discuss let us discuss in brief of all these characteristics. And as I have said earlier, land has specific characteristics comparing to other factors of productions. So the first one, the free gift of nature. So when we say, or when we read and say that it's a free gift of nature, we know that the land need not be paid for acquiring it, which it says there is no cost for acquiring a land. That is what it means, a free gift of nature. So land is available from the nature as a free of cost to the society or human being as a whole. However, for the improvement, to improve, that means to improve the usefulness and the utility and or the fertility of land, we have to spend some money for making it a better one. However, we can say that a land is a free gift of nature. Now, next point, that is limited supply of land. Land is always in a limited of supply. It can never be extended as it was formed from the very beginning. We know that land is limited in supply. Therefore, it says that land can neither be stretched or anything can be added to it to increase its availability, which says that land is limited in supply. As such, the supply of land cannot be enhanced. However, only effective supply of land can be increased by making it intensive use of land, which means using the land for properly and many times over the land again and again. We can use the land as an intensive supply. That is what it says, land is limited in supply. Now the other point is difference in fertility. We know that the land all over the earth, the surface of the earth, which is not all the same in all everywhere. So it depends on its fertility, and all the fertility and the fertility of the land are all not the same. Different patches of land have different degrees of fertility, which means different area, different locations of the land has its own fertility. It is not the same everywhere. Some locations or some locality might have a very less degree in fertility of land. In case of the very fertility of land, we will have a good agricultural productivities, whereas some place where they are totally barren, which means no any productions take place. That is due to the difference in the fertility of land. And the next one, immobility. Immobility means things that cannot be moved from place to another. So unlike other factors, land is not physically movable as a source. As a source of things, land cannot be moved physically from one place to another. It is an immobile factor of productions, which means it is a permanent, fixed place of productions, as it cannot be shifted from one place to another. The another point is passive factors of productions. Here, the passive factor of production says that land is a passive factor of productions, which means that no no land will produce itself unless and until some element is being used in the land. So what is that element? We can say that human element and capital inputs are required to be combined in an appropriate manner with land in order to obtain productivity. So for this reason, the land will be land itself unless some effective element of human and capital are used. The land cannot have a good productions or any kind of productions. So let us go to the last point. Land is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. That means land, like other factors of productions, differ from another in respect of locations. So this, what it explains of this heterogeneous is can be a little more or little bit similarity with the fertility of land. Here it says that the factors of production differ from another in respect of locations, fertility, nature, and productivity. So we already explained about the difference in fertility. The land are not all and everywhere the same in fertility. Same is the case here. The land is heterogeneous, which means that in the factors of productions, it differs from one location to another, and the fertility also differ from one place to another, and the nature and productivity of the land also differ. This this means that land is heterogeneous. Two pieces of land are not exactly the same. That means what? Two plots of land are always not the same. It has some difference in the same plot of land also. Now let us move on to the functions of land. The functions of land is explained according to the various purpose of use of land. That is what land is used for various purpose. These various purpose explain the functions of land. The first functions of land is what? Determine agriculture productions, which means the land itself. The land itself determine the agriculture productions. The supply of land resources in the country determines the level of agricultural productions of the country, which means the way the land is being supplied in different countries or in the countries, that determine how the agriculture productions take place in a country. The more determinations of agriculture production is the fertility of the soil. The fertility of the soil also determine the agriculture productions. The second point of the functions of land is supply of natural resources. So when we talk of natural resources, the resources that we find in the nature. So the land also supply the natural resources. That is what it explains is availability of total land area also determine the availability of natural resources in a country. That what it says that according to the total area in the country, that determines the natural resources in the country. So according to the area of the land of a country, we will know that what are the resources that is available in the country or in a place. So proper utilizations of these resources will help in raising the total output of the country. Total output means that the outcome that we get from resources we can determine from this from the proper utilizations of these resources from the land.